and welcome back to the Tackling Basketball Podcast. My name is Evan.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Micah.
And we have a lot of content for you today. This should be a pretty fun one, if not a long one. We'll, of course, be covering the Damian Lillard trade along with all of our usual segments that we have for you. Trivia is back on the menu now that I am back, since it is damn near impossible to run trivia with just two people. I mean, you could do it. I'm just not sure it'd be any fun.
Wait, I would have won last week.
It's true.
Missed opportunity.
Damn.
With that said, though, we will jump right into it with our Toast and Roast segment. Jonathan, kick us off with your Toast of the Week.
My Toast of the Week is the worst team in football.
Can't wait to hear this shit.
I mean, they showed some real promise, and no. They're my toast right now because with the current standings, they own the 101 and the 102 next year. And it looks like it's not super likely to change either. There's a lot of teams right now that are 1-3 that I still think shouldn't be. You can name the Vikings, you can name the Bengals. I'd probably put the Broncos there as well, even though not with much cause. But the Broncos are better than the Bears and the Panthers, I would say. And so then you also look at the strength of schedule remaining, and the Panthers have the 9th hardest strength of schedule left. Worse than almost any team that is anywhere near them in the rankings. So they are set to have given up. Granted, they got Bryce Young, which might turn out to be a great trade for them, but they might be giving up the 102 in order to do it, as well as last year's 109, as well as DJ Moore, as well as a lot of other depth pieces. So for the Bears, in a season that looks dire, looks like an absolute disaster, there's at least a ray of hope, and that is draft capital.
I will say, though, Caleb Williams has come out and said that if he doesn't like the organization that gets the 101, he will strongly consider staying at USC. If I'm Caleb Williams, I don't want to go to the Bears. Like, if I'm Caleb Williams, I know I'm biased because I'm a Packers fan, but they are the worst at player development. They have made Justin Fields look horrible. They're an absolute mess. Matt Eberflus straight up lied yesterday about the reason a player wasn't there. It is just a mess of an organization. There are not very many teams that I think Caleb Williams should consider not going to. The Bears are absolutely one of them. There's a very good chance the Bears could ruin Caleb Williams. So it's an interesting spot for the Bears to be in. And who knows? Maybe by the end of the season, somebody else will be the 101, but I seriously doubt it. It's going to be Caleb Williams. So. And
it would be devastating for him to stay at school because it doesn't look like a terribly strong draft outside of him. A lot of high upside guys, but no one really is a sure thing outside of Williams. So it will be. This turns into a roast pretty quickly in that scenario.
One, if he stays to that 101, suddenly becomes almost worthless trade wise. No one want it unless Williams is saying trade the pick and I'll go to that team, or he just immediately commits back to USC.
I'm not sure they trade down again if he's there though. Even with I still believe Fields has a future in this league. But
no, I'm saying if he goes and tells the Bears, I will only go to the NFL if you trade the pick. I just won't go play for your organization. Which, I mean, heck, Eli Manning did it. So,
yep.
All right, Micah, who are you toasting this week?
I'm toasting the Portland Trail Blazers.
What?
Yeah, I know. First time.
It's been so long.
And even though this toast comes from a place that still hurts, losing Dame, but it's actually cool to see Joe Cronin do something correct. To see a general manager for the Blazers do something correct.
You could have stopped at the word something.
Also true. No, he did a lot when he traded away CJ, Norman Powell, and Rocco for seemingly nothing.
Yeah, a bunch of expiring contracts that then left.
Yeah, it was awesome. No, but this is the best thing the Blazers have done since drafting Damian Lillard. I think one of the few other trades that I can think of that was good was swapping Nurk for Plumlee.
Yeah.
But this was a great trade, and we'll go into everything that happened with it in a little bit, but Portland actually seems on track for a good future, especially with Scoot and Shaden Sharp, and now adding Ayton, having a lot of picks, those Milwaukee picks like 6 years out, or I guess 4 and 5 years out.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. Like those picks could very much be valuable. Who knows what the Golden State Warriors are going to look like this year? Their 2024 first round pick might actually be kind of good. But Blazers team actually looks like something that could be really good in a few years. So they'll actually be a fun young team to watch, I think.
I used to pray for times like this.
Right.
I mean, it's a long road ahead still.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They got more than I expected. We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But they walked into a difficult situation, and they walked out of it feeling good.
Yeah.
So,
And it does feel nice as a Blazers fan for the first time to go into a season with no expectations. Like, for 10 years, I was like, this is the year. Now I can be like, maybe 4 years from now will be the year.
I'll be happy if we make the play-in in the next couple of years. Well, I used to pray for times like this, and Jets fans used to pray for times when Zach Wilson actually looks like a good quarterback. And lo and behold, it happened last night. Attaboy, Zach. Zach kind of balled out last night, and I saw a thing today where just statistically, this is the first time in his career where Patrick Mahomes has been outplayed by the other quarterback in terms of QBR, passing touchdowns, interceptions, and yards.
Wow.
Who would have guessed that it would be Zach Wilson to make that happen? But it did, and it wasn't like, it didn't come off as like this fluke thing. I mean, he was making fantastic passes. He was throwing to back shoulders. His touchdown pass to Alan Lazard was a thing of beauty. He looked so comfortable in the offense. He looked confident. And if this is the Zach Wilson the Jets get through the rest of the season, the Jets' playoff hopes might be back, because that defense is freaking killer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they made Patrick Mahomes look like a mediocre quarterback last night.
Yeah.
Shut down. Well, they didn't shut down Isaiah Pacheco, but it's Isaiah Pacheco. Good luck. So, but this Jets team could be for real and could easily become a wild card team if Zach Wilson continues to play like this. We'll see, because so far he has never had 2 games in a row go well. So fingers crossed for him. I really like Zach Wilson. He seems like a stand-up dude. Other good thing he did last night was last season, after the offense scored a mere 10 points and the defense held the other team to 12 points, a reporter asked him, do you feel bad that the offense didn't step up more and score more points? And he just flat out said no, which is not the right answer in that situation. And then last night, first thing he said in his press conference was like, it's on me. It's my fault. I should have played better. And it's like, that is a lot of maturity. That's a lot of growth right there. So props to Zach Wilson. Hopefully he continues to do well.
Yeah. We'll see he almost certainly will never live up to his draft capital. He wears it on his jersey, taken second overall in his draft. And just has had a really disappointing career to this point. Was rumored to be on the trade block for a 5th round pick this offseason. And he's come back, and in Aaron Rodgers' absence, sort of shown us some of what we hoped for him in college. I think that my scouting from college still stands true today, which is he won't throw you open, but he'll hit you when you are.
Yeah.
And so as long as the Jets receivers, who I think are sort of an honorary toast as well, as long as they're able to continue to be super productive, then Zach Wilson can potentially continue to shine. So I think it starts with the receivers, and then it ends with a guy who has had a tough career so far being able to follow through. And he did that last week, so cheers.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Zachy. All right, enough of the feel-good stuff. Let's tear into some people, and we're starting out hot here, literally. Jonathan, go for it.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot more about the trades later. We won't talk a lot more about the Miami Heat, in large part because they were left out, which is insane. Like, the Heat were supposedly Dame's preferred destination, which the Heat weren't able to, not supposedly.
Yeah.
He straight up said, I won't go anywhere but
want to play for.
And they still couldn't secure the deal. Even crazier to me is, like, rumors came out today of what their offer was, And I actually think that the Blazers probably should have accepted it. Now, in the end, they wound up with a better package because they moved Drew for a lot more assets that wound up totaling more than the Heat trade. But it was a risk going that route instead of accepting what's rumored to be 3 firsts, multiple swaps, multiple seconds, Tyler Hero and Nikola Jovic, which would have been a haul. And somehow the Heat weren't able to get it done. And then rumors come out, they were at the top of the contending for Drew Holiday, who apparently also really wanted to go there. We still don't know what the supposed trade was there, what the offer was. But to just swing and miss on 2 massive failures for the organization for not being able to get it done. A lot of people sort of think that, like, these trades broke Jimmy, him showing up to media day all dressed up emo and with a
he was
eyebrow
literally
piercing.
accusing the Bucks of tampering.
That felt humorous to me. When I watched that video, it kind of felt like he was joking. I don't think he was actually calling for it.
We also don't think he's actually emo now. He did this last year. He had the dreadlocks because media day, just fuck around, have fun. But yeah, for the Heat themselves, just a horrible weekend to experience the loss of 2 stars.
I'm pretty sure on media day when Jimmy Butler walked in with that hair, he was looking for Dame going, "Where are you?"
Also, can I honorary toast the nickname My Jimical Romance?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so good.
All right, now we're to another team that might actually be having a worse week somehow. Micah, hit us with it.
Yeah, I'm roasting James Harden. We talked a little bit about him last week, but there's speculation on. He said he's never going to play for a team. Is he going to show up to training camp and media day or anything? And today it became official. He did not.
Bum.
And
Yeah.
I get that you don't want to take a bunch of pictures for a team that you don't want to play for. I understand that. But also, you're acting like such a child. And you've done this the last 3 teams you've been on. How do you expect to act like this and then go to a team that wants to invest all that it's going to take to get you when you just mope around and get out of shape and don't show up when you're supposed to show up?
I mean, maybe the brilliant play here is he's lowering his trade value. And so the next team will have to pay less. But I don't think he's that smart. I think he's just a little baby.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like if I was Philly, I wouldn't put up with it. I would wait the 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
And just say, all right, if you don't want to play in the NBA, you don't have to play.
Yeah. They hold a lot of cards right now.
Yeah, Harden is not the person to be making demands. He has no power here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which good.
Which great. Yeah, I love it. But Philly will be an interesting team to look at in these next few weeks and how they're going to manage all of this. Especially in a conference where the 2 best teams just got better. And now you're trying to still compete there. What are you going to do with this guy?
Yeah.
Bengals, what happened? What are you doing? This is just atrocious from a team that was on top of the mountain just a couple of years ago. He shouldn't be, and he likely won't be, but there's an argument to be made that Zach Taylor should be on the hot seat purely for his mismanagement with the Joe Burrow injury situation. Jamar Chase said it before the season started. Sit Joe the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Let him come back 100% healthy. He can come back if we're 1-3, whatever. We'll figure it out. Now they're 1-3. He still hurts. And the only way they have a chance to make playoffs is if they continue to play him. So he's likely never going to get back to 100% this year unless he's able to fully recover over the bye week, which I believe is week 7 for them. And the Bengals are now just in an absolute mess of a situation. And the other dumb thing for Zach Taylor, I guess I should have just made him the rest of the week, but we'll say the Bengals as a whole. other dumb thing from him is that a reporter asked him yesterday, like, oh, will you guys sit Joe Burrow this next week so that he has a chance to heal up? And he essentially said, no, what a stupid question. And it's like, that's actually not a stupid question at all. Like,
when you're asking him, it's a stupid question.
Yeah, it's like the only way you guys are going to get better is if Joe Burrow is at 100%. And I would say right now he's at like 50 or 60. I mean, I know it surprises a lot of people, but a calf is something that needs to be healthy for you to be an athlete. It's hard to run it. It's hard to run around, especially with that O-line when your calf is messed up. So the Bengals are just in a mess of a situation. A lot of it is on Zach Taylor. Obviously, defensively, they've struggled. Offensively, they've struggled. So there's a lot of blame to go around. But the Bengals need to figure it out here. At this point, I think we can now say the AFC North is now the Ravens' division to lose, which at the beginning of the season, most people were picking the Bengals for it. So
not me.
Not you, but I'm not even sure you could foresee this downfall by the Bengals.
Let's go Ravens.
All right, continuing on with the NFL, though, now over to NFL Power Rankings. Glad that I'm actually here this week to defend my honor because I got needlessly roasted last week when I was freaking delirious creating my rankings, but whatever.
Listen to the episode. It might be our best yet. We didn't have Evan, so we just had a lot of fun.
I am hereby going to retire, and these two fuckers can handle this themselves. All right, though. In all seriousness, Micah, over to you. Who were your biggest surprises of the week or biggest disappointments of the week? Who did you have dropping and rising?
Biggest disappointment was the Steelers.
Yeah.
I was probably too high on them in the first place, but I really liked their previous couple weeks. They were looking really good. I thought their defense was really great. And then losing to the Texans 6-30. And I mean, we also all had the Texans rising quite a bit with that game as well. But that was a rough game for them, and I think it showed more of who they really are.
Yeah.
It hurt. It was devastating, but had to drop the Dolphins down for that loss against the Bills. But I will say the biggest thing that I'm curious about, how do you have a 4-0? I get they had an easy schedule, Jonathan, but how do you have a 4-0 team at 5?
They've not proven anything yet. They've played against cupcake opponents and
dog walked every single one of them.
Yeah, but they haven't been close either.
I know.
They've been doing what they should be doing as a top tier team in the NFL. They've been destroying the competition.
All 4 of the teams above them on my rankings have beaten good opponents.
Yeah.
The 49ers have not.
Okay.
And I put in my own notes here, the 49ers are the most likely to shock next week and jump up the rankings because they're playing the Cowboys. That is their first big test, and I'm really excited for it. Mm-hmm. Evan got to our planning sheet before me, so I couldn't make it the game of the week. But that is their test. That is when I get to evaluate them properly. And until then, I'm putting teams that I am very confident are very good above them.
That's fair. All right.
So who have the Chiefs beaten? That
They beat the Lions. No,
they beat the Jaguars, but that was on a...
They won the fucking Super Bowl. They are 3-1 with their only loss being to a team that's shown a lot of strength, and when they completely gave away the game because of Kadarius Toney on 3 horrible individual plays.
With no Kelsey.
Yeah. They are Super Bowl champions. Their only loss was a wash. So they have proven more to me than the 49ers as a result of their recent history in playoffs.
How about them Buccaneers, though? Huh? You all thought I was crazy when I picked them.
I still do. But yeah, they proved a lot to me. They are among my top risers.
I feel like it's not even that the Buccaneers have proven a lot to me. It's that the Saints have been a massive freaking disappointment. And like I can't not have like the best team in a division not decently high. So
I mean,
like I have the Saints at 23 now because the Saints have been dog shit for the past 3 weeks. Like
I had the Bucks at 20 last week though, so I do think I wasn't respecting them enough. You'll see they rose 8 spots for me, and then meanwhile the Saints and the Bengals have both been absolute dumpster fires. Both of them falling double digits in my rankings because I mean like I kept holding on hope for both of those teams. Like, you guys are eating tough losses, but I know you're better than this, and I've had enough. They've lost my trust, and they have fallen to the early 20s.
Yeah. I don't want to be too petty about you guys talking shit about me last week, but I would like to say y'all spent a lot of time giving me crap for having the Browns at 10, for you guys to now have the Browns essentially in the exact same spots as me. So screw the both of you for giving me so much crap. I know Deshaun Watson was out, but you were talking about the 49ers not having proven anything. The Browns have proven nothing to me. Like, in the games with Deshaun, like, cool, they destroyed the Titans. It's the Titans. Outside of that, the Browns have done nothing to impress me. So, like, I felt like having them at 10 for me last week was very generous, considering Deshaun Watson had only had one good game so far this season. They beat up on a Bengals team who is clearly awful. Like, they beat the Titans. They got beat by the Steelers, who we now all have at the bottom of the league. So, like, again, screw the both of you. Like, I'm sure, like, the Browns can be a very competitive team, but they need to prove consistency to me first before I really consider putting them kind of up in that upper tier of the league. I feel like right now they're very much just a middling team, especially now without Nick Chubb. Like, their run game is weak. They didn't have to use their run game against the Titans because the Titans have a horrible pass defense and a good run defense. So,
yeah, I think Deshaun Watson being out was really brutal this last week.
Yeah.
And I do value their wins that they had against a couple of, like, in my own rankings, even currently, a couple of, like, middling opponents at least. But yeah, that's no longer enough to hold them in the top 10. So,
yeah.
I am glad to see that we all agree on the bottom 2 teams of the NFL. Pretty easy there.
Yep.
We chatted briefly about this earlier, Jonathan. I'm not quite sure how you totally justify having the Broncos over the Giants when the Broncos have like a historically bad defense.
Yeah, so the way I do it is twofold. First of all, I'm not moving the Giants until that game is over. We're recording this before the Seahawks-Giants game, and assuming that they lose, they also don't deserve to rise. Secondly, the Broncos won in the exact way that they needed to, which was a close victory, which they've been completely incapable of doing the last 8 years. So to win in a close game almost means more than to blow out the Bears, just because that was hard for them. Also, Russ has been looking really good all year. Like, he's in the top 10 for almost every major QB statistic this year. The offense is flowing better than it has since Peyton Manning. And the biggest thing, the defense closed the game out. 3 consecutive scoreless drives for the Bears. 2 of those turnovers, one of them to just end the game. I do think the defense has a lot of holes. They were also really injured these last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago against the Dolphins, missing their top 3 safeties and their second best corner and their best Mike back and their best outside linebacker. And then this last week, still missing a top safety, a couple of top linebackers. So they're injured, but they finally sort of found their groove at the end of that game. And if they can hold on to it, then they might shoot further up these rankings. It's just, they proved enough to me to evade the bottom 3, and now I need to see it again.
Now shifting over to our matchups of the week, of course, very self-explanatory segment. It's our favorite matchups of this upcoming week. initially were going to have 3 team matchups, but Micah pivoted at the last second and maybe changed the graphics, the little bastard. But we're going to kick it off with Jonathan. Who you got as your matchup of the week?
Yeah, so my second favorite matchup this week. It was really hard to pick a second favorite this week. Evan stole my favorite.
That's why I hopped on the best one.
Yeah, jerk. Because it's sort of a boring slate of games in my opinion, but this one I think is my game of the week because it has potential to be better than it should. Where the Chiefs are 3-1 right now, the Vikings are 1-3. I think that the Vikings have had a very difficult schedule, have also played very poorly, but this almost has the feelings of a trap game to me, where the Vikings have just not made any adjustments over the last few weeks. They've been horrible in every regard, and the Chiefs are likely to disregard them. But let's not forget the coaching prowess of Kevin O'Connell last year. He has been waiting for this game specifically ever since he won the job, and I don't doubt that he will come with a really solid game plan to face off with the Chiefs. And I still have the Chiefs winning. I think they should. I think they will. But I think that this game winds up being more entertaining than it deserves. So, that's my pick.
I like it. All right, Micah, what you got for us?
I got Wilson versus Wilson. That was the reason why I had Evan change the graphic, was just so I could say that. I mean, we've already touched on both of these teams, especially Zach Wilson and the Broncos. But like we were saying with Zach, actually had a really good game last week. Even in a loss, still showed a lot of promise and was close to beating an incredible team. Mm-hmm. So now going against a team that is bad.
Screw you!
I feel like that should give them every reason to hope to fight out a win here. Obviously, when you tailor an entire team around one person and you lose that person, it's gonna take a bit to come back. Which is why last week was so encouraging to me for the Jets and Zach Wilson. If he's actually figuring out this team, if the team is working together to get a scheme that works around him, this is the game that they should win to prove that. And like Jonathan was saying, they haven't had 2 good games in a row since Zach Wilson hasn't gotten 2 good games in a row. So this is the time for him to get that. When Evan said it. My bad.
Come on, man.
It's been a day.
I don't say many profound things on this podcast. You gotta give me my credit when it's due.
But then to actually Jonathan's credit and how he was talking about the Broncos. Broncos actually were able to close out a game last week. So this is another team against a pretty bad team that you should feel as the Broncos you can win. So I think this will be a really important game for both of these teams who are doing way worse than they think they should. Which is, even though these are 2 of the bottom teams going against each other, that's why I think this is actually going to be an entertaining and important game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I'm going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
I'm excited.
Well, as I've been alluding to, I took the one actual good game of the week for my matchup of the week. 49ers Cowboys. I'm so excited for this. There's going to be a lot of fireworks here. I feel like we know exactly what 49ers team we're going to be getting because it's the exact same 49ers team that we've been getting for a year now, essentially, since Brock Purdy has taken over. The 49ers have been exactly what they have been this season. They score 30 points. Their defense has been good. CMC balls out and scores a touchdown at some point because he scored freaking 12 straight games with a touchdown. Brock Purdy has shown that he is still probably what you consider a game manager, but also a bit better than a game manager. He's a very solid quarterback. But then you have the Dallas Cowboys, who, yes, this season they have had 3 wins in which they freaking blew people out and looked like the best team in the NFL. But then they had this game against the Cardinals where they looked like they didn't know how to play football. And that is essentially who the Cowboys are. You either get the best team in the NFL or you get a pile of crap football team. And there really isn't an in-between. So it'll be interesting to see what we get in this game. Brock Purdy has yet to throw an interception. This is a Dallas Cowboys team who has been making their living on interceptions this year, so we'll see if they'll be able to take one away from him, see how often they can get to him, because the 49ers O-line is pretty good, see if they can shut down CMC. I'm personally rooting for the 49ers because I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys more than fans. But after this weekend, we'll get to see if the Dallas Cowboys are in fact them boys.
Or if the 49ers are in fact them boys.
Yeah.
One of these teams will rise in my rankings.
Yeah,
But
it'll be a similar situation to as it clearly was in our power ranking segment, which we didn't call out. But if you would notice, every single one of us now has the Bills number one, because the Dolphins-Bills game was whoever wins is going to be the number one team in the power rankings.
I mean,
This isn't going to be that, but it'll likely be for second number two in the NFL, probably.
Eagles might not have slid to 2 for me, except that they barely beat the Commanders.
Yeah, that was a rough game for the
Which is also why you noticed all three of us rose the Commanders on our rankings despite them losing. So,
Yeah.
an impressive performance for them, and that wound up leading to the Bills taking over.
Yeah.
We'll see if one of these two teams takes over next week.
Now over to some NBA stuff. We, of course, have the Damian Lillard trade, which Jonathan and Micah talked about a bit last week. And then right before we were even able to publish the podcast, the trade went through, because that is how the world works. So this wound up being a 3-team trade. I will kind of walk us through it here, where everybody went, what assets were traded, and then we'll discuss. We'll give you our grades for each team. Bucks obviously receiving Damian Lillard. That's it. That's really all the Bucks needed anyway. The Suns took Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic. All depth pieces for them, except Yusuf Nurkic, who will likely be starting now in place of DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
Speaking of DeAndre Ayton, he was a part of the package the Blazers received, which included him, Tumani Kamara, Drew Holiday, 2029 first-round pick via the Bucks, 2 first-round pick swaps with the Bucks in 2028 and 2030. Another thing to add on, and we won't separate out this trade, we'll just kind of include it in here. The Blazers then flipped Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics for Robert Williams III, Malcolm Brogdon, 2024 first-round pick via the Warriors, and a 2029 first-round pick via the Celtics. So, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first-round picks in total. Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams III, Tumani Kamara, DeAndre Ayton. Pretty solid package there from the Blazers. Let's start with the Suns. Jonathan, what do you have them graded as on your end, and do you think this wound up working out in their favor?
It's an interesting deal. Obviously, they needed a lot more depth added since they had so many max contracts and just basically a 4-player roster. I'm not convinced that they added the correct depth. I mean, these are, for the most part, like low mistake players. I don't know yet how well they will gel with the team, and also losing a guy who was the first overall pick in his draft class in DeAndre Ayton, who is still young enough to continue to develop and improve. Someone who I'm sure the Blazers are actually really excited to receive.
Oh, yeah.
And he's excited to be here with us.
For sure. I think the Suns did what they should have, but nothing more, which gives them sort of a middling grade for me. I give them a B-, but I don't hate it. I also am not overly impressed by it.
Wow. I gave them the best grade. I gave them an A+. Because obviously you did get a downgrade from Ayton to Nurkic, but Ayton also had a lot of problems with that team. There was a lot of people who had issues with him for weird reasons. Like, even when they had Monty Williams, who is probably one of the best coaches in the league as far as player management and just relationships go. And after the playoffs or something, or after Ayton got injured, something happened. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But Monty Williams didn't call Ayton for a couple weeks. It was a lot of the players had issues with him, so I'm not surprised that they moved off of him. And to move off with him, get a solid starting center in the league, and good role players like Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, and Nasir Little. I do really like all of them. Nasir Little, especially if he can stay healthy, shows really, really solid effort and skill. But you're looking at a team who it just has the most ridiculous starting lineup and nothing behind them. And now they actually have solid bench pieces who can come in and hold their own, I think, at least.
I mean, yeah. I think part of my problem here is why did they feel the need to get Nurkic? I feel like their team almost really benefited from not having a super strong center, and they could have gotten other assets to fill out the depth other than a center who will barely contribute on either end of the floor. So,
Yeah. I don't know.
making you think about it again.
It's an interesting idea. I mean, I'm just trying to think of if I agree with you.
Yeah.
I still think, as the Suns, I would want a center. But it's an interesting point.
I'm kind of in the middle between the two of you. I have them as a B+. Kind of a mixture of your guys' reasoning. It is absolutely a downgrade from DeAndre Ayton to Yusuf Nurkic. No one's going to question that. But as Micah kind of alluded to, at the same time, they weren't really using DeAndre Ayton the way he should be used anyway. So, it's not the biggest deal in the world. The whole situation is just bizarre. I'm not sure what happened with him. And as Mike and I, as we were talking a couple days ago, as Blazers fans, we really hope we don't figure out why the Suns had issues with DeAndre Ayton and it was just some weird Suns thing. But at the same time, kind of like Jonathan said, to a degree, yes, it's great that they filled out depth. There's pieces that probably would have been a bit of a better fit almost. Keon Johnson has his moments, but he still has a lot of developing to do, which is fine. Nasir Little's the exact same way. Grayson Allen's Grayson Allen. He'll probably get suspended a couple of games because he's a dick. And then Yusuf Nurkic, you know exactly what you're getting. I just feel like for the position the Suns are in, it would be better for them to go out and get more veteran presence when they're in win now mode rather than a bunch of youth. So that's why I have them at a B+. I still think it's good for them. It'll still make them better. It's just not fully what I feel like they should have done ultimately. But way to hop in on this trade and get something out of it at least. And get rid of DeAndre Ayton, who apparently was causing a whole bunch of strife in the locker room.
I also think I like just subbing out sort of the 3-team aspect of this trade, sort of viewing it as a Suns Trailblazers thing. I like what the Trailblazers got more than what the Suns got here. So I think that they should be really excited to get this star who was disgruntled and misused and is young and talented. I think that part of my poor grade almost comes down to as well just the mismanaging of Ayton on the Suns organization. And I think that the Blazers have a great opportunity to do better. So
yeah.
All right, we'll save the Blazers for last because Micah and I, Blazers fans. Over to the Bucks. Micah, kick us off. How do you grade out the Bucks end of this deal?
Surprisingly, I only gave them a B+. Mostly because one of the ways that I think is the easiest to look at it is you swapped Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Which is obviously bringing your defense significantly down. You have probably the best defensive point guard in the league. And not only just he was a defensive unit, last season was an incredible season for him.
Yeah.
Offensive and defensively, he was playing amazing. Obviously, offensively, you're getting just one of probably the second best point guard in the league behind Steph, depending on where you count Luka playing. But they're going to be offensively incredible with Dame and Giannis, and that pick and roll is going to be damn near unstoppable. But your defense is getting worse, and you lost Grayson Allen, who is a really good backup for you. So I don't think they made a bad trade by any means. I think they certainly got better overall. And I think especially for a team where you have Giannis saying, if we're not focused on winning, I don't want to be here. You have to do something. And this was a great something to get.
I have them at a B. And partially kind of because of that reason, this almost felt like a Hail Mary attempt of them seeing Giannis say those things and going, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And going out and getting Dame. And again, fantastic piece to add. Great locker room guy. Dame is going to work his ass off. But, yeah, if this doesn't work for the Bucks, like they are screwed. Like they just got rid of a lot of pieces. Pretty much every single first they have from now until Giannis retires.
Just 1 first and 2 swaps, but yeah, they didn't have a lot to begin with.
I think they already gave away all the other firsts. I think this was them going, this is all we have left.
And this is why no one thought that the deal would get done with the Bucks, is because it's like they have 1 first, 2 swaps to give. They're not giving up Holiday. But they did.
Yeah. So I think this absolutely in my mind makes like the Bucks the team to beat in the East, but also at the same time you do now have this defensive liability situation there, which, not to harp on Dame, he's not good on defense, and that could wind up being a problem, especially since Drew Holiday is now on the other favorite in the East, and Drew has been able to shut down Dame in the past. So.
Yeah.
I agree with that. In fact, I put them at a B as well. I almost gave them inconclusive instead. For some reason, like out of the 4 teams involved in this, including the Celtics as well, theirs seems the least certain of outcome to me. Like, I sort of have a good understanding of what the Suns, the Blazers, and the Celtics are all going to get out of these pieces, but we don't really know how Dame and Giannis are going to play off of each other on the offensive end, and we don't yet know how much of an impact this will have on defense for the Bucks. Like, they will need to dominate on offense, I think, in order to maintain the same level of success as they had last year, because there is now a big liability in their backcourt. They lost their best backcourt defender, and they acquired a backcourt defensive liability. And they are betting on the ability of Dame and Giannis to play off of each other, to dominate the game, somehow operating in sort of a dual primary handler role, which is something that a lot of teams have tried and failed before. I think that Dame is a good player to experiment that with. I think that Giannis is as well. Both of them have games that complement being optionally a secondary ball handler, but it'll take a bit of a learning curve, I think. And for those reasons, I'm out. For those reasons, I have this graded a little bit lower than it probably should be, because it doesn't feel like they gave up a ton. They gave up Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, and picks. But it'll be a challenge on coaching and team chemistry to make it work to its fullest potential.
I will say a very quick note on the defense. I don't think any team with Giannis and Brook Lopez together is going to be a bad defense.
No.
They're going to be fine. They got worse, but Giannis and Brook are...
Interior defense, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just backcourt defense is going to be difficult. I don't trust Brook Lopez or Giannis to defend a guard.
Yeah.
So...
All right, for the Blazers now, I'm not jumping first because why not? For the Blazers, I have them at an A. Before the Drew Holiday trade, if we were coming into this, Drew Holiday hadn't been traded yet, I probably would have done inconclusive, because that was such a big part of it was Cronin banking on being able to flip Holiday. But after flipping Holiday for Robert Williams III, Malcolm Brogdon, and 2 more picks, fantastic trade by Cronin. Like Jonathan was alluding to, that he was not going to get a better deal than this. This is all that they could have expected. They now have kind of both ends of the spectrum in terms of a rebuild. They have plenty of picks going forward in case guys don't work out, and they can look to the next year and the year after that and the year after that. But now they also have DeAndre Ayton, who can continue to improve. Tamani Kamara, I don't know much about him. Robert Williams III, another young guy that can continue to improve. I really like him a lot.
I love Williams.
Yeah, same.
Malcolm Brogdon, who has probably hit what he's going to be, but is a very solid piece. Who knows? Maybe we flip him later, or he's now just another veteran presence on a very young Blazers team that can coach guys up. And shit, now we actually have a legitimate shooting guard on the team, so that feels good. So overall, I think Cronin did a fantastic job here, and as much as Mike and I have been wanting this to just be over, I'm actually very glad now that Cronin kind of played the long game and waited for teams to panic and just
This was a masterclass in patience.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, like you said, without Drew Holiday being moved as well, this would have been a much more difficult thing to grade. I think that I sort of have this theory that like the Blazers had this in place and the Bucks said, we will not include the Celtics in a trade. So they're just like, okay, we'll do it later.
Yeah. We'll trade the guard that you love to your biggest rival because fuck you.
It's brilliant again. Like another credit to him because there's no way this deal happens if the Celtics are a part of this 4-team trade.
Yeah.
So like props on getting this done. Lots of future assets. A lot of young talent that hasn't been used to its fullest potential, and now we get to see them. Like it's gonna honestly. I think the Trailblazers are going to be like one of the top teams to watch with your league pass this year. Not for like, I don't think that they're going to necessarily be. They have a shot maybe at play-in, but just a lot of exciting talent that's going to be used the way that they should have.
Yeah,
and that is reason enough for me to like be excited about this and give them my highest grade of the trade at an A. Actually tied with the Celtics, who we won't discuss a lot. Gave them an A as well because Drew Holiday is a great ad for them in my mind. Just perfect fit for that organization. And in the end, it feels like they gave up pieces that they were fully aware they weren't using to their fullest potential. So to get a guy that you can use is huge.
Well, like you said earlier, and Mike and I talked about this a few days ago, the Miami Heat should have gotten Drew Holiday. Like after the Dame thing fell through, that was the next best thing. And honestly, I think Drew Holiday might have been a better fit for the Heat than Dame anyway, because they're more defensive minded and they're kind of about that dog mentality, and Drew Holiday is all about that. But instead, so they lose Dame to the Bucks, their biggest rivals. Then they lose Drew to the Celtics. Like, there's a reason why Jonathan roasted him. Like, it's damn. But yeah, Boston is looking good now.
Oh yeah. I also gave the Blazers an A. Woohoo!
Yep.
Like they said, I'm so excited for Robert Williams and Ayton to have an actual front court that's like, really good. It's like the first young front court we've had ever. It's incredible.
Dude, what if we do Twin Towers and we have our starting lineup be Scoot, Shaden Sharp, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, and DeAndre Ayton?
We're actually going to be big.
I want to see it happen, honestly.
So yeah, I mean,
I know that
those are your 5 best players probably.
Yeah.
But it would be...
Yeah. I'd probably put Ant above Shaden and maybe Robert Williams, but
I'd probably start Ant, but...
But that'd make us big for the first time rather than having 2 point guards starting at the court.
Yeah, right. But no, I mean, I agree with Jonathan on League Pass being entertaining to watch. Mm-hmm. When he said that, he reminded me, I feel like for so long we've been the Wizards of the West. And now we're like the Pacers of the West, like a good, fun, young team that is like, going to be exciting to watch.
I don't think the Pacers are still the Pacers of the East. But the last few years,
I mean, like this year and last year, these like the very current Pacers,
the Magic of the West, the Magic
of the West.
Yeah. That's a better comparison.
I think the Magic are going to be fun.
They're another super young team with a lot of good players. Paolo Banchero,
who constantly misuses their youth and can't develop their players for shit.
Again, the Magic of the West.
You'd better hope that's not true.
I'm speaking it into existence just so I'm proven wrong.
Oh, man.
Also, way to go, Boston.
Yeah.
Didn't know what you were doing when you got rid of Marcus Smart, but it's looking great.
It kind of makes sense now.
I do love all the memes of like the Spider-Man meme of Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday just pointing to each other.
I like Drew a lot more than Smart.
Oh yeah. No, I do too, but like it's the same kind of player is more what it is.
Right.
All right, with that though, we'll keep on the NBA trend and Really milking the clock here on this pod, but that's fine. We're going to do Eastern Conference predictions, and what we'll do here is we're going to do a scoring system. Obviously, it's going to take a while for this to vest, but at the end of the season, we'll do points. We've kind of broken it down here, as you can see, between the green, yellow, and red. We have the 6 teams that are automatically into the playoffs. Yellows are the 4 teams that are in the play-in. Reds, not making playoffs, eliminated. They suck. Good luck next year. At the end of the season, we'll get a point for each team that fell into the correct category, and then another point if we perfectly landed a team on the correct seed. So we're just going to go through here. We'll do the West next week, and then we'll cap it off before the NBA starts with playoffs. Micah, kick us off with your Eastern Conference predictions.
Yeah, Eastern Conference predictions are pretty tough, I think mostly because of the Sixers.
Yeah.
And there's so much volatility in what's going to happen there. But I do have the Bucks over the Celtics. Mostly, I think it's because of Giannis' statements saying that he needs a win-now team. Dame never gives less than 100%.
Yeah.
So I think this team is going to be really motivated to win in the regular season, and I think they're going to be great. I think Boston's going to be real close behind. And again, like, picking either one it's so hard to go between them. But I picked the Bucks first. I guess we all have the Cavs at 3. I was kind of surprised.
Me too. I thought it was a great take for me.
Yeah,
and then y'all fucking followed me.
We all think we're geniuses, but we're really just all sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have Pacers making the play-in. I think they're a really good, fun, young team. Mathurin and Halliburton, I think, are going to make really good steps this year. Probably the most surprising one I think I have is the Bulls not making anything. I think this is my own personal distaste against the Bulls because they pissed me off a lot last year with all of my bets that I placed. But another season with no Lonzo, and he's really the person that holds them all together. Zach LaVine is good, but doesn't feel like he's winning. DeMar DeRozan's getting older. Vucevic has never been a phenomenal center. Like, I just don't have a lot of hope in that team, and I think those other teams are just better and are playing for something more.
What about Kobe White?
I do like Kobe White. I do have the Nets still at 9 because I think Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are phenomenal. I really like Claxton as a center too, and on his 3rd year, I think he's going to be really, really good. I think the Wizards are going to be the worst team in the league. They just got rid of everyone and gained Jordan Poole, who I think will score a lot.
And Bilal Coulibaly.
Yep, and that guy. I mean, the bottom 5 teams, I think, are all just going to be bad.
They're all going to be separated by like 5 wins at like 20.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my main picks.
All right, Jonathan, who you got?
Yeah, I'm the only one that took the Celtics at the top spot here. I think that the Bucks, like I said a little bit earlier, it's going to take a little bit of time to figure themselves out, to sort of get into their rhythm. I think that they have a good chance at being the better team, but I don't think they have a great chance of having the better record. I also think the Drew Holiday trade just made so much sense for a team that was already really talented last year.
Yep.
Only missed out on the 1 seed by a game. And I think that this year I think they'll take a stranglehold on it. Like, by the end of the season, the last couple of games won't matter for either team. They're just going to rest their players. Cleveland Cavaliers, I think that they have a lot of young talent who will continue to develop and meld together. Just going to be a really fun team to watch. Another top pick for League Pass. Then I have the Raptors higher than a lot of people. I think that it is a well-coached team who has had a lot of time together and sort of has built up a lot of chemistry in a weaker conference, to be frank. Like the 4th through the 8th team are all like just middling quality teams that can all jump out to a lead. And I think the stability of the Raptors combined with a couple of talented players is going to like hold out. Sixers hard to place. Heat a little bit tough to place as well after that tragedy of just missing out on top players. Jumping down now, 9 through 15, mostly a crapshoot in this division or in this conference. I think that the Pacers are in a similar situation as I placed the Raptors, just with less talent. They have had a decent amount of time to meld and like gain that chemistry that'll push them higher. Bulls, I think, are really well coached as well as have enough talent to sort of hold out. The Wizards have Koulibaly. I mean, they can't be the worst team in the league if they're going to have the Rookie of the Year. So it's just inevitable. And then obviously the Pistons are the worst. I don't need to say any more.
Yeah, I do love how we all agree that the Pistons are going to freaking suck. Yeah, top 6 teams I have pretty darn similar to, I mean, Mike and I literally have the exact same first 4 teams. I have the Knicks at 6th, and then I obviously have the Heat up there. I think the Heat will be able to actually make their way into the non-play-in this year, although for whatever reason they seem to thrive on adversity and thinking that they are like the underdog when they like make themselves that way for whatever weird, it's a weird fetish with the Heat.
The Heat were 8 last season and got worse. I don't see how they're gonna make they lost their 2 best role players and didn't gain anyone.
Yeah.
They were better than the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler's on his emo shit now.
So like, I mean, last year I would probably have put them at like 4 or 3 regular season based on just their talent and performance.
I fully
And so to
agree
put
with
them at
that.
6, they fell.
Yeah, like I agree with that, but this is a team that clearly doesn't care about the regular season and got worse.
Yeah.
I just won't see Micah. I have Raptors making play-in. Hawks, we essentially all have in the exact same spot. They're decent, not great. Chicago Bulls, same thing. Nets, kind of like Micah said, I like the young pieces they have. I don't necessarily think it's about them being like a good team. It's just more all the teams below them are just worse. So Magic, I see improving a little bit. Obviously still not making the play-in, but they have a very young core and a lot of great talent if they can bring it together. I'm the one person who left the Pacers out, which maybe I'm making a mistake about that, but who knows. Wizards down to the bottom, kind of like Micah, I think they're not great. And then also, just based off of his face in his media day with the Wizards, I feel like Jordan Poole is just not going to give a shit. He has gone to basketball purgatory, and I think he is going to play as such. So,
Which will benefit them when he gets benched and Bilal Coulibaly takes his spot.
All right.
all right, we're going to move over to trivia so that Jonathan gets off his soapbox.
I will say, we're already nearly at an hour, and my trivia's not going to be short.
Yeah, that's all right.
Do we want to do it or push it off?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do it.
cool.
Whatever. More content for the people. We love it. So welcome to trivia. Quick scoreboard for you. We've only done 2, so Mike has a win. I have a win. Jonathan doesn't, but not Jonathan's fault. He's only had 1 opportunity. So we're going to get it over to Micah here for him to run NBA 2K team ratings. Oh,
All right.
I like it.
What?
So, I'm going to show you 5 NBA power ranking, or not power rankings. Did Seahawks win?
No, Geno Smith got hurt, so Drew Lock is in at quarterback for the Seahawks. Let's go, Drew!
Dude, Giants might win.
I will show you the player rankings of 5 players on the team. I didn't label them, but it should be easy to figure out. The number at the rim is going to be the center. The side of the free throw line is the power forward. Corner 3 is the small forward. To the side of the 3-point line is the shooting guard, and very front and center is the point guard.
Got it.
So how we will do this is you will do a vocal buzz-in with your name. Evan, you do have an advantage with only having 2 syllables. So Jonathan, if you would like to go by Johnny or Nathan or any 2-syllable call.
Can I just do John?
Sure, you can
John.
say.
Yeah! Now he's flipped the advantage the other way.
So now you can get to 1 syllable if you want. God damn it. How do I get... Where?
What the actual hell? It makes no sense that it does this.
You closed out your tab too?
Yeah, and it just goes away. I think. Let's see, where is it?
I think it's user error.
There we go.
Cool. So whoever buzzes in first gets to guess. You will have a couple seconds to guess. You will have to wait, I'm going to say 10 seconds to buzz in again to give the other person some time. Yes.
Do these now accommodate the recent trades that have happened?
Yes, this
Okay.
is correct. Cool.
Important distinction for two of the teams in the NBA.
So, very first team. Got an 84 point guard, 79 shooting guard, 85 small forward, 90 power forward, 83 center.
What the hell? Powerful. Oh, Buzz. Oh, John.
Utah Jazz?
Incorrect.
Warriors?
You think Steph Curry's an 84?
No.
He's old.
No.
Do we go until one of us gets it, or are you going to cap us? I forgot to say that.
I didn't say. We'll give 2 shots. 2 or 3. 3 shots.
Power forwards are a 90 overall.
This is-
I said Jazz because I thought maybe Lauri Markkanen had gotten bumped up.
This is a stupid question, but can I just pull up a graphic that has every single team logo?
No. Oh, logos? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Evan.
Yes.
San Antonio Spurs?
Incorrect.
Evan. Los Angeles Lakers.
Incorrect. You are.
I was debating that, but there's no way LeBron's that low.
I'm gonna cap you at 3, so you get
Yeah.
2 shots.
Buzz, Miami Heat.
Incorrect. 1 more shot.
For each of us?
No, Evan already guessed 3 times.
Oh, sick.
Oh, dude, I'm so confused. Oh, shit. I know who it is.
Oh,
I'd call him a power forward.
Celtics?
Now, do you think you know who this is?
Toronto Raptors.
No.
What?
Come on. It's Zion! It's the Pelicans.
Zion's rated 90?
Yeah, Brandon Ingram at an 85. That's CJ at
Why is
84.
Zion still a 90?
Because he's Zion.
Yeah, that. Okay. I don't feel bad about not getting that one.
Yeah.
Started out with a tough one, but we're 0-0. Moving on to the next team. Got 83 point guard, 79 shooting.
Buzz.
Evan.
Lakers.
No.
Oh. That was your guess, wasn't it?
Oh. Boston Celtics.
No.
Oh. Buzz. Dallas Mavericks?
No.
He's not a small forward.
Isn't he?
No, he's a shooting guard or point guard.
That's stupid.
He has the height of a small forward, but also Kyrie Irving. Oh, Buzz. Miami Heat?
There it is. It's Jimmy on the wing.
What point guard do they have as a...
It's Tyler Hero, I think.
What the hell?
Okay.
All right, moving on.
God damn it, Micah.
Gotta throw some bad teams in there.
Buzz.
Yes.
Utah Jazz.
No.
Buzz Spurs?
No.
Buzz Thunder.
No.
Shit.
Buzz Rockets.
No.
So we each have one left. We're gonna zeros this game.
I mean, he already got a point.
Buzz.
We will both.
Trailblazers.
No.
No, the center should be higher for Blazers.
He gets hurt a lot.
Power forward, that's the best player.
At an 86.
The Pistons.
No, it's the team that you're crazy high on. That's the Raptors.
Yeah.
Siakam should be higher than 86.
I agree. But them's the breaks.
All right, so I leave.
Buzz Nuggets.
Yeah.
By the way, highest rated player since other than LeBron since Kobe in 2K.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, up next.
I didn't even have a chance to read a number.
I was staring at the center position for that one.
Buzz. Cleveland Cavaliers.
No.
Best player is a shooting guard.
Buzz Bulls.
Nope.
Buzz Blazers.
Nope.
Buzz Kings.
Incorrect. Jonathan, you have 2 shots.
Has he burned all 3?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't take forever staring at logos. I just try and play the game.
Thunder.
No. You think Shy Guy's a 79?
I thought he was a shooting guard.
Oh, he might.
Classified.
Oh, I think he is.
Nets.
Nope.
Fuck.
The key there was the 84 and the 85 right there. Those are the T-Wolves.
Cat has fallen off. Wow.
Yeah. All right. No one got that one. Moving on.
No.
Buzz. Boston Celtics.
No.
Can't be that either. No.
Buzz. Cavs.
There it is.
Yeah. Darius Garland, 86. Add a kid.
Another bad team.
Buzz Atlanta Hawks.
No.
Buzz Rockets.
No.
Buzz Spurs.
No.
Buzz Thunder.
No.
Buzz Pacers.
Nope. Jonathan, 1 shot.
One opportunity.
Are you gonna capture it?
No. This is harder than it should be.
We really need to start putting clocks on the trivia.
We can cut out the
Yeah, for sure.
Jonathan's time.
I'm just making it harder for myself in editing.
Honestly, I have no idea who this would be.
The Knicks?
Now you're pretty close with the OKC. It's the OKC of the East. It's the Hornets.
That should have been obvious.
Yeah, LaMelo's the only good player on that team.
The Hornets aren't on my logo list. God damn it. This is why I pulled up the logo, so I wouldn't miss anybody. How many teams are there?
30.
No, I mean on this. God damn it.
All right, next team is up. Jonathan.
All around solid team.
What position would you put him at? No. No, it can't be. Buzz Blazers?
No.
Yeah. Because, like, Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, the
wouldn't have
best
fit.
player on the team has the worst rating on the
Yeah. But, like, everything else felt close.
Who the hell's an 88?
Jeremy Grant at your point guard.
Yes. Say it.
Nets.
No.
Alright, give me all of the team logos, not just 24 of them. You
Buzz
bastard.
Thunder.
No.
I thought I was Chet Holmgren at the center. Buzz Spurs.
No. One of these days it will.
No, point guard's not that good.
I'm trying to think of like what team has a good point guard and a good center, but like
But nothing in between.
yeah, but like nothing else besides that.
I will say for this team, I did have to use kind of my best guess at who would play from 2 through 4. Like 1 and 5 are locked that position.
Yeah.
I used my best discretion.
Oh, Buzz. Kings.
There it is. Next up. Oh, right. It's Kings. Next up.
Buzz. Celtics.
There it is.
Yeah. I was trying to remember which position was which. Also, Jason Tatum's a small forward classified?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always have.
Huh.
Good. Brown is for sure the shooting guard.
No, I thought he would be a power.
Oh, power forward? No. All right. Next up.
What?
Pure mediocrity.
What the hell?
All right. I'm going to keep sending it. Buzz. Spurs. Buzz.
Stop.
Rockets.
You have 10 second wait, buddy.
Just because you're staring at logos doesn't mean I have to wait for your ass.
He said 10 seconds.
I did, but. And you haven't guessed, so.
I know.
What the hell?
Nets?
Nope.
Buzz. Pacers.
No. Yeah, 2 shots.
I have no idea.
I mean, that looks like what Joel Embiid should be rated, right?
Shut up.
I'm just trying to think of like any team where like essentially everyone is on like the exact same level and there's like not a single standout guy.
I don't think.
Which, to be fair, 2K is fucky, so it could be one of these guys is a standout guy and 2K rated him bad. But
Okay, I have my 2 guesses.
Yep.
Thunder?
Nope.
Kings.
Nah, you
I already
guys.
said the Kings.
Oh, really? Shit.
No, you didn't.
No, we already did the Kings though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guessed them for pretty much all the other teams. That's the Blazers.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
apparently.
Post-trade?
That's
Yeah.
messed up to Jeremy Grant, honestly.
Yeah.
And Ayton. Yeah.
It was, yeah. But, alright.
So I was right. 2K just did somebody dirty.
Huh.
We have one.
Wait,
left.
also, who's your small forward?
Shaden Sharp.
It was Anthony Scoot.
Scoot at 83 already.
I think Jeremy Grant might be the 3.
No.
I think that's Robert Williams and then Ayton.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
2K's always kind of done that to the Blazers, though. 2K ratings for the Blazers have always been whack.
Yeah. We have one team left. Evan has already locked the win.
No, this last one's worth 5.
No. But here we go.
Another weird one.
Thank you for not putting the Warriors on here.
That is the Warriors. I'm just kidding.
Damn. Fall from grace for Clay. Somehow the worst guy on the Warriors now. Another good power forward paired with a good point guard.
Buzz, Atlanta Hawks?
No.
Buzz. Pacers.
No.
I was going to say Magic, but there's no way in hell that Fultz is rated as an 88.
Grizzlies.
No.
I think Marcus Smart is an 80.
Maybe.
No, there are a few teams I just didn't put on here because I was like, I don't want to put Memphis on here because who knows what's going on with Ja.
Yeah.
I don't know how to place that. Teams that I have no idea what positions people are actually playing.
This one's tough. Buzz. Nets?
No. I don't remember.
Well, I might guess it again then. The Jazz.
Buzz.
No.
What did you say?
Jazz.
Thunder.
No. I think that's 3 each, but it still has 1. Keep going.
Bulls.
No.
Look at
Now we're just going to go back and forth.
Okay, fair enough. Knicks.
There it is.
Jalen Brunson. Yeah.
Julius Randle at that low?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was
messed
surprised
up.
about that too.
That's
I'm
really
surprised,
weird.
I'm surprised Brunson is considered better than Randall.
Yeah.
I like Brunson.
Didn't Randle make third team last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
At bare minimum, they should have the same grade, but yeah, having 3 points higher.
That's
is
insane.
whack.
All right, and with a final tally of 5-1, Evan blew that out.
This is a stupid game. I'd be embarrassed to be good at it.
The only one you got right was the Nuggets.
It's on brand.
It's the only one that made sense. Julius Randle at 82? What the fuck, 2K?
All right, well, thanks for running that, Micah. That was a good one.
Of course.
All right, now we'll finish things off because Lord knows we need to with Sportsbook Showdown, our weekly betting segment. Recap from last week. Only bet that has any possibility at this point is Micah's line bet on Seattle, which he is checking right now.
Seattle minus 5.5. Seattle minus 5.5. Currently, they're up 14-3. It's looking pretty good. Might actually take the lead.
We might have the first hit bet.
All right, but every single bet that we're about to say in this next segment will absolutely hit. So
heed our advice.
all right, we'll go to Jonathan for his first bet of the week.
Give me CJ Stroud to do it a third time, baby. Oh my goodness, a couple of really strong wins against opponents that a lot of people thought that would blow them out of the waters. So I am pumped to see this Texans team sort of take it to them again and come out with another victory against a much weaker opponent this week as well. So give me Texans all day. All 3 of my 5 units.
All right, Micah, over to you.
Trying to do just kind of a safe bet, but still getting some plus odds. I got Ravens, Commanders, Dolphins, and Chiefs all winning money line. So that's plus 241. I put 3 units on it.
I like it. For mine, I'm going Saints and Texans moneyline parlay at plus 320, doing 2 units on it. Like Jonathan, I like the Texans this week, and I think the Saints are going to be able to bounce back against a crappy Patriots team.
Yeah, so my second bet of the week, I have the Liberty, the WNBA team, winning the WNBA Finals in just 4 games. They are the underdogs in this series, and I think that they have a really good shot. Love Sabrina Ionescu, and to get it done 3-1 against a team that a lot of people had pegged. They had their opponents had plus odds before the season began to win the finals. So that tells you what they're up against, but this team has shown some serious grit throughout the season. So,
man, disrespectful not bringing up the MVP Stewie.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised that bet's only plus 500.
Doing it in exactly 4 games.
yeah.
No, I'm saying it should be higher plus
I
odds.
kind of agree.
In 5 games was actually better odds. It was 550 for that, but with 5-game series can get weird. Near sweeps are pretty more common.
That's fair. My second and final bet, I just did 2 this week. I've got Texans and Jets money line. Like the others, I like the Texans. And then I think the Jets should be able to beat out the Broncos with how they looked last week.
Fuck you!
Yep. So that's plus 317, and I put 2 units on that.
Love it. My second bet is I'm doing Anthony Richardson and Derrick Henry to combine for 175 plus rushing yards in their game against each other. The Colts have the 28th ranked run defense in the NFL. The Titans' run defense is actually decent, to be fair, but Anthony Richardson has been torching teams up to this point. Derrick Henry looks like he's back. I think he's going to have another great game against the Colts, and I feel like 175 between the two of them is a pretty reasonable goal to aim for. That's plus 275 and putting 2 units on it.
Yeah, for my final bet of the week, not only are the Jets going to lose, they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns or more. Go Broncos!
All right.
I can't explain it. Next person.
I'm so sorry for you. My final one, I'm doing a futures betting on the Commanders to make the playoffs. They have proven themselves to me. Sam Howell looks fantastic, and thank you, Sam Howell, for helping out my dynasty team this week. Appreciate you. That's plus 285. putting a unit on it. Honestly, jump in on this now because if the Commanders continue to win, you're not going to get into plus odds anymore. So you might as well be able to make money off of it while you can.
Nice.
Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Just cuz. But that way you can see all the content that we're putting out and always know when we publish new episodes. And Micah, go ahead and take us out.
The Blazers are going to be in the top 6 teams in the West at the end of the season. They are making playoffs, avoiding playing.
Everyone makes the top 16.
6 teams.
Oh. Good night, everyone.